Welcome back everybody to another one of these Dead by Daylight Park Ideas videos. This time we are doing Jack the Reaper. I don't know why he's not in the game yet. Honestly, he probably should have been a while ago. Because I don't think there's any licenses that come with a real life person that killed people. But anyways, let's move on to his perks. Let's see what I did with him. His first one is Crime of Passion. If you hit a survivor while they are performing any action, you knock them down to the dying state immediately from any health state, and has a cooldown of 90 seconds. So, I personally have a problem sometimes when I see somebody doing a generator and they have no clue I'm behind them, and I come up behind them, instead of pulling them off of the generator, I just hit them. So this perk basically negates that. You just, instead of only hitting them and they are able to run away, you just knock them down to the dying state. And the 90-second cooldown, I don't really think it's much of a problem. You're not going to really see people on generators all that often because most of the time survivors will know you're coming. I think this is a good perk. It's not the best, obviously, but I think it works, especially for somebody like me who is not very good at killer. So let's move on to his next one, Into the Shadows. After you kill a survivor, your terror radius and red light are gone for 4 minutes or 240 seconds. Timer resets after you kill another survivor. So this probably should be buffed. It should be about like a minute instead of 4 minutes. I don't know why I went with 240 seconds. But this doesn't eliminate survivors' ability to read your aura, like if they had object of obsession or something, or spine chill. So I guess in that sense it's not too overpowered, but it is overpowered. Like, this is just beyond overpowered, but maybe one day they come out with a perk that counteracts this if they do put this into the game. But I thought it was really cool, and killers, I've noticed, don't really have a lot of OP perks aside from NOED. So I kind of let this one slide when I created it. Now his last perk, which is probably going to be controversial. One of them, you can vault over windows and now pallets. Your vault speed is 75% of the survivor's vault speed. And you can drop pallets as well, but you cannot break them. This basically turns you into a survivor killer, pretty much, or a killer survivor, whichever way works best. I like this perk. This would probably work really well for somebody like Scream or Legion. But the thing is, it says at the end there, you can now drop pallets. You can't stun survivors. Basically what this does is just wastes pallets for survivors. So if you really wanted to, you could go around the map and remove all the pallets, and you can break them. I do believe... Oh wait, you can't break them with this perk. So any pallet that is dropped, you can't break. You have to work around it, which is why you now can vault. So it kind of changes the game. You're still slower when you vault. I can't believe I just misunderstood my own perk that I created, but I actually like that one now that I understand it after creating it. It's a really, really good perk. I think it would work really good for Scream and Legion. Generally smaller killers that are quicker. So yeah, now let's move on to the killer ability, which is Blend In. With this ability, Jack breaks into the survivor animation and hides his knife. He becomes undetectable. Now, he won't look like a survivor. He will just... You go into the regular survivor animation, and Jack the Ripper already looks enough like a survivor. So, say his red light goes away, his terror radius goes away, and Jack sees another survivor and just walks up to them. And if the survivor isn't really paying attention to the fact that he's not Jack the Ripper, they won't know that it's Jack. So, especially with no terror radius, no red light, and the fact that he looks like a survivor and he has no knife, Jack can just pop out of this animation and stab that survivor right away. It's a really cool ability. No other killers have it, obviously, because none of them are Jack. But I think it's a really, really cool killer ability. Another thing that I thought of with this killer that isn't really listed in the perks or the killer ability, it's actually in the description of the killer. Since there are rumors that Jack the Ripper might have actually been a woman because he because as a woman, the killer of the canonical 5 victims could have been a woman, because women at that time would have been able to slip through crowds a lot easier. They would have been less noticeable than a man fleeing a crime scene. So I could see them putting in a female version of a Jack the Ripper skin, which would be really, really cool. They did that with Legion, but they don't do it with very many other killers. But I think that would be really cool. So I hope you guys like these ideas. Be sure to like the video, share it, comment on it, tell me what's wrong with these perks, what is good with these perks, if they need to be nerfed, buffed, whatever. I'd love for the devs to see this, so make sure, if you can, help me show this to everybody, as much of everybody as I can. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and see ya.